Let us try auction. It will either work or it will crash. Oh? Is it going to work?
It might. If it's going to crash, it'll crash when it fades in.
No, it totally works.
Oh, yay.
Oh my god. Oh my god, yes.
So yeah, you can
up, down, left, right, square. Oh, I might only be able to play as Clank, though.
Oh, that's fine.
But
You can still fly
I
around.
can explore other places as Clank.
Yes, you can. You can
so-
fly Clank around just like Ratchet.
So, just turn off all the colour of green and see what happens, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, it'll look sort of reddish because you got some red there.
Yeah. Oh, wow, this is really neat, actually.
See, and you can see what stuff we painted green and what stuff is made green by the fog.
Yeah.
And the green fog is what makes it look really polluted.
Yeah. That's really
And
cool.
Yeah, I think it's neat too. The debug menu fascinated me when I first started because I didn't know these things existed in video games. Like I didn't know you could just screw around with everything.
Yeah.
And I mean that's one of the reasons why I don't get everything in games anymore, though, because playing around with the debug menu for so many years, I don't value getting things in games as much as other people do anymore. Because when you can just flip a switch in the debug menu and turn it on, it's like, well, okay.
I was kind of hoping it would make this like easier to see because I love electricity. I think it looks really neat.
If you see electricity in this game, it's usually the Tesla claw effect.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which was done by Mr. Roberto, same guy who did the camera.
Thank you, Roberto. It's really cool. Oh, I could see what's inside an infobot.
Yep.
Yes, yes. Turn around, my pretty. Oh, the light's actually way behind it.
Oh yeah.
Huh, that's really neat.
Because if it's inside of him, it looks weird.
Oh, look, the little screen's there.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
That's how it comes out. Yeah, they animate it to blow up and move towards the camera.
Oh, that is so awesome. So, theoretically, could I collect the infobot here? If I landed on it?
If you took Ratchet and landed on it, yeah, you'd collect it.
Would it work with Clank as well?
Because he runs away, right?
Yes.
I'm not sure whether we programmed it so you could collect it, but you might be able to.
Well, we're gonna find out.
Yeah, give it a shot.
I didn't mean to turn around. Nope, I don't like that camera. Let's change that. I didn't want to be facing the other way. That does not help me at all.
You can rotate it while you're flying around. I forget what button it is. I think you have to hold a button and push left or right.
Okay, well, we're back here, so it's all good. So let's find out what happens here. This is super neat. I didn't actually realize Auxon was available. I thought someone said Auxon wasn't available. But
well, it's
no,
good
it
though.
works.
Maybe Orkson with Ratchet isn't available.
Yeah, maybe that was what they said. That's a
But you can fly around with Clank, which is, given that it's a debug game, that's just as good.
Yeah, because that's what we're here to explore, not to play the game normally.
Which you've done sufficient number of times, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Here we go. Nope. Bye. You've just flown away.
So no, what you have to you trigger him. Now you go into flight mode again.
I'm chasing him.
And then go where he is. You can probably collect him there.
Okay. Let's see. Nope. I think I'm gonna have to chase him all the way across the sky. I want to collect you here, though.
Well, turn Mobies on.
Huh. Oh, right. So if I...
Camera character Mobies on, you could probably still chase him.
Oh, that's super cool! You can see the light and everything.
Oh, yeah. Those are the particles.
Huh. Can I still take damage?
Because they're frozen. No, because you're not updating.
Ah, okay.
If Ratchet was on, then you would be able to you would take damage, even though it's Clank. Because Ratchet means the player, the hero, is what we called it.
Okay. Oh, this is super cool. So, where is it? It's up here somewhere.
I think, yeah, there you go.
Here you are.
Hello again,
yes!
You got it. Oh, well, he even has the video.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
We have now found the perfect
oh, yeah, Hoven isn't available. That's really sad.
For the optimum temperature
which one was Hoven?
This one.
Oh, the snow.
I love how he's walking on a treadmill. He wasn't in original.
Oh, he wasn't. That's awesome.
That's great.
That's why we've created this.
Oh, that's good. Those treadmills are in the level,
A device
yeah.
capable of blowing an entire
Oh, that guy just
planet
appeared.
into subatomic particles. We're quite proud of it. Here's how it
So
works.
all of these
We
cutscenes
attach the
that
planet buster to this ship, fly it into orbit around the planet, and let it go.
all of these cutscenes that happen in a level like this
Quite
are
ingenious,
actually
really.
recorded
Once our
by
trained
running that
professionals put the
level
finishing
and
touches
recording
on our
it
new planet, everything
from
will be
the
complete. Thank you.
from basically what you see,
Goodbye.
right? So if there are enemies placed in the level, the programmer has to make it so that they can all disappear, so that the cutscene can go off, so that it can be recorded.
Right.
And if the cutscene actually happens in the level you're in, that it's not a recording at all. It just moves the camera and plays animations somewhere in the level.
I see. Oh, what was that green? I saw green for a second. What was that?
You might even be able to use the debug menu during some cutscenes if they take place in the same level, like at the end of Novalis, the one with the
Oh, interesting.
air. You might be able to use the cheats during that
This gold bolt sucks so hard.
one. Yeah.
And also, I don't think it's there. Because I think
Oh,
it's
but
at the
yeah, it
end
might not have been placed yet.
Yeah. But you certainly designed the puzzle.
Oh yeah. Well, the gold bolts get placed really late because
Yeah.
they're not critical, right?
Yeah. I noticed that with some others.
There's some gold bolts we don't even know where they're going to go.
Yeah, the one
Until,
in
you
the
know,
one in
post-
Novalis. Oh wow, this looks really different. Oh no, it's because there's a particle effect I've turned on movies. Oh no, that does look different. Wait, what happens if I turn it normal? Oh no, that's really cool. Huh, okay. Huh.
Because the Moby is still generating particles, but the particles never die because the parts were
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, that makes sense. Huh. Okay. Yeah, because the one in Novalis when you blow up the wall, that wasn't there. Which was-
Oh yeah.
That was interesting.
Yeah, sometimes we find out about those. Like the testers will find an area that we didn't intend you to get to, and then we'll put a gold bolt there instead of fixing it.
Right.
So that's another case in which case bugs turn into features.
What is this? There is a random rock underneath the ground.
There's
Cool.
probably a lot of that going on. I mean, someone has to move it by accident, and
Yeah.
how would you know because you can't see it?
Yeah, that's true.
I've had instances where like the frame rate was breaking in a game, and it was because someone put something inside a wall that you couldn't even see.
Right.
And it
So
was just
would something under the ground actually do that? Would it break the game?
If it was expensive, right? If it was a lot of polys,
Yeah.
even if you couldn't see it, if it was drawing, then which it probably would be because it was inside a wall.
How easy would it be to just remove it? Like if you saw it. Like.
Oh, you could just go into the tool and click delete, but then
Okay.
you'd have to rebuild the level, and depending on what it was, you'd have to rebuild occlusion. Occlusion
Right.
took at least 2 hours, sometimes 6.
Right. I see.
And building the level took somewhere between 15 and 30 minutes, depending on how much stuff was inside of it. So once you deleted that rock, it would be 20 minutes later that you would know whether you broke the level or not.
Right. I see. That sucks. That really
yeah.
sucks.
The way we made changes a lot, if we had programming access, we would open up a hex editor and then just live edit the memory of the game so that we could change things.
Right.
Just to figure out what it was supposed to be, see how it was, and then put those values into the tool so that 20 minutes later it would show up that way. Can you imagine if you move the rock, you build the level, and then you open it up and it's wrong?
No.
Then you got to fix it, wait 20 more minutes, especially if this is near a deadline and
Oh,
you're the thing
God.
holding up the build.
Oh man, have you heard about The Last Guardian being delayed again? Like they were saying that like it's been delayed by 6 more weeks, and what basically happened in the latest build of it, just randomly the character just flew up into the ground and extended and just and flew up into the air and
Yeah.
expanded randomly. They're just like, what the hell's happened? Why is this happening? Like they must. That sucks.
I've seen that bug happen in every game. It's really it basically what happens is the data gets scrambled, so the animations are moving different
Whose car
parts
is
of the
this?
character around the way they weren't supposed to be. Probably
is it?
Craig Stitt, the guy who made the level. There's probably a picture of his kid there too.
There's a picture of Orcs and is this them?
Yes.
Huh. He has big eyes.
Well, they edited it, so it wasn't
Yes.
actually a picture. You know.
I figured, but that's kind of cool. Is that
Yeah,
the
I think
final
that's
game?
No, I think he had to take it out.
Oh, that's a shame. 'Cause I was gonna say, like, I've never noticed
Well, because
that before.
there's no people,
Yeah, that's true.
right? There's no human beings that exist in the Ratchet universe as far as we've seen
Oh,
so far.
wasn't expecting all the lava there. Um,
You know, it's really funny. I said this on Twitter, and a lot of people liked it. Hundreds and hundreds of people have asked me what species Angela was, but nobody ever asks me about Quark because he's clearly not,
yeah, okay, go on.
right, with his 3 fingers and his antenna and stuff.
Yeah, the demon frog is pleased. Go on, keep talking.
I have no idea what the name of Quark's species
Damn
is,
it.
but I'll tell you what my headcanon is for it.
Okay, please do.
Okay, my headcanon is that Captain Quark is the only human being in this universe,
Okay.
and he wears 3-fingered gloves so that he can fit in with the other aliens because nobody has 5 fingers
Huh.
except for Ratchet, who comes from another dimension, right?
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that's my headcanon. It's not. Nobody ever talked about that. That's just something I made up.
Yeah, so Angela is definitely a Lombax.
She is a Lombax.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, despite, them all being wiped
The-
out and blah,
the
blah,
not-
blah, blah, blah.
Not having a tail was just an error. That's
Yeah.
all. We didn't think of it.
But I mean, just like the whole, like, kind of a plot hole, sort of.
Mm.
But,
You mean that there were actually 2 Lombaxes?
yes.
See, I look at that like, so you know how whenever there's, I'm thinking like, so the Ratchet Future series I think of as one continuity, and the PS2 games I think of as one continuity.
Right.
I have, and then that PS4 game is in a different continuity. It's like in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the lore is that every iteration of the Turtles exist in some dimension. So theoretically, any of the Turtles can access any of the other Turtles, right?
Right, I see.
It's just it's a different dimension. It's in my head, I've always thought of it that way. So the plot in between the different franchises occurred in different versions of the character, sort of like Link, or who was I thinking of? Not Doctor Who. What's another thing where that happens? Help me out here.
I'm not thinking off the top of my head, but I like to see it this way. Like, Ratchet is like Superman, and Angela is like Supergirl. They were both sent away from Krypton before it exploded, and what I'm saying is they should do a new game where they explain how she escaped from the Dimensionator and how
she
her
lost her
and Ratchet have to team up to get the Lombaxes back. Please bring her back, Insomniac. I want Angela back. I really
people
liked
do miss
her.
I think Talwyn has kind of picked up that spot.
Yeah, and I love Talwyn, don't get me wrong, but
I miss Sasha. I liked her.
yeah,
the
I
best.
like Sasha as well. Sasha was great. But
Of course,
Angela,
having a game where you play as Angela would be rad.
that would be cool, actually. So, Insomniac, please watch these videos.
Cities are
and
full
listen.
of smog, swamps are full of muck, and
You know, it's
tar
also
pits are full of
possible that
tar. But here at
Angela
Turtle
fell
Resort,
through
the
some
sun
other kind of
shines
dimensional
24
fissure, and no
hours a
one
day.
knew that she ended up in the
Visitors
galaxy
get a
because
free
she ended up
O2
in
mask
Solana
to
and not
explore our
That is
where
warm
Ratchet.
also true.
The benign marine life will welcome you to the big blue world under the sea.
The thing with
You
with
can
video
also
game
use our
lore
complimentary
is since
flippers
we're just
to
making it up
partake
as we
in
go
speed
along,
swimming.
right?
So come to Joe Resort.
There
and
can
leave
be an
your
explanation
world
for
and your
whatever, but most of the
troubles
time it's just because we
behind.
didn't think about it.
Yeah. Unless you're Nomura, for Kingdom Hearts, and he planned like 4 games at one time.
Yeah, there are people in studios who do that sort of thing because, like with Ratchet, the thing that was important to us wasn't necessarily a through story, as it was like the story that's from the beginning of the game to the end of the game.
Mm.
Like, it was always important that there be some maniacal genius and that he have some crazy device that was going to destroy the galaxy, that Ratchet and Clank go blow him up or her up. In the case of what was her name, the Progs,
Oh,
or the thief in
Oh.
Ratchet 2.
what was her name? Yeah, what was her name?
Vendra? Was it Vendra?
Yeah, Vendra, yeah.
Yeah. So, but that was always sort of what we focused on, was making that good. And then in the future games, they thought, okay, now we want to we want to tell a longer franchise story. So we hadn't even really been thinking about the through line so much as we were thinking about the individual games. But by now they've thought of those things, right? Because they have done those exercises with the future series.
I'll try this
So
more time.
Insomniac knows a lot more about telling stories than they did when I was working
Sending
there.
you down to the planet's surface to destroy
I love how
those
this cutscene
troublemakers.
is so
Now
animated.
go. Oh,
Does it have audio even?
It does have audio.
To get rid of them. So be it.
It does have
Yeah.
audio.
That's what you just saw. What a placeholder cutscene looks like.
I was told that Kalibo 3 did not exist, but apparently it does.
Are you there?
It hasn't crashed yet. It might have crashed now. Damn it! I thought it worked for a second there. It normally crashes when you start to leave in your ship, so I thought maybe it worked.
Does it say anything in the console?
Surprisingly, no. So you guys can see, this is what it looks like all the time. It's like, oh, here's a save slot. Oh, you might be able to see the bit when I was. This is all the data in this recording, by the way. Like all of this stuff. Here's loading plugins. Here's all the stuff that we've been up to. It's pretty cool, actually. Yep. It's pretty cool to look at if you understand it. But no, it doesn't seem to do it. I will load a different save then. Let's try. Oh, Veldin Orbit's totally gonna work, isn't it? Look at the emulator crash.
I don't think that game or that level had been made.
I know it won't work. It might have a placeholder cutscene though.
Oh yeah, maybe.
So that might be cool. Or I love how like Supreme Executive Chairman Drex things on fire. Like, yeah, I think it died.
I wonder if there's a way to give it more memory, because then maybe it might be able to load those levels.
Because I mean, do they actually exist?
Well, so they if they're on the disc, right? Then you should be able to load them up if you can get the game to let you have more memory. The problem is the version you have was built for a actual PlayStation, which has 32 megs of RAM, right?
Right.
The things we were using to build them had more, like 64 megs of RAM, right?
I see.
So we could, when we were building them, go over memory. But if you tried to run a level that was over memory, the game would crash because it couldn't load it all into the 32 megs, right? So in theory, if there was a way to turn PCX or whatever, your PlayStation emulator on dev kit mode where it gives the game access to more, that might load. But since the game was compiled and built for a disc, it also might not work.
Yeah, because it might not have it. But there's a
chance the data is on there. Yeah.
That's very interesting, actually.
That might be why they crash differently. Like the ones that crash after the flight might be, on the disc or vice versa.
Oh, I wonder if the infobot works for Veldin. Let's find out.
Yeah.
Well, considering nothing's happening, no, I guess not. Is that just something where it's not implemented, or is it just not working?
Probably. I don't think that it was implemented yet.
No, it's not implemented. So yeah, it's not working for any of them, even the ones I've collected.
The other thing that's going to probably be really weird in this build is the maps, especially for the later levels. Like when you look at the level maps, they're probably going to be missing detail.
Yeah, I will look at that in a second.